it's Dusty Thunder with another Reddit story for you, and this one is from the AITA subreddit and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for telling my dad and stepmom their home isn't my home? My parents had me, and pretty soon after they divorced. My parents' divorce was not amicable. I, 16 female, don't know all the details, obviously, but I know that bad blood exists on both sides. All the Swifties out there right now, in unison. Bad blood. Uh-oh. What am I missing out on? I'll catch up on it later. And if you want my suspicions, I think they divorced so badly because my dad wanted to set up his own business, but my mom didn't want that to happen right after me. My dad owns his own business. Actually, he owned two, and the first one he had to close up. The first one he started right after the divorce, which is why I suspect what I do. My dad also complained once or twice that mom never supported him, so there are issues between my parents. When I'm with my mom, you would never know it. She does not vent about dad, badmouth him, or try to hide the fact that they were married and had me together. She has some photos of us before the divorce in our living room among the rest of the family photos. And while I have issues with my stepdad, he's not my favorite person ever. He has never complained or tried to erase the fact that he married a woman who had a kid with someone else. He never got that part wrong despite our issues. But my dad's house is so very different. It got worse after he married my stepmom. I'm not supposed to mention my mom at all. Well, red flag that. Just pretend like she doesn't exist. They don't let me have anything there that my mom bought, even my favorite plushie that mom bought me as an infant. I can't have a single photo of my mom or my half-siblings on her side. I used to have a little pinboard of photos, and my dad and stepmom went into my room in the past and removed all traces of my mom. They have told me in their house they do not want to see my mom, and my room is not a compromise. So of course I don't like being here. I spend 50% of my time here in the courts, and no, the courts won't let me stop coming, and they would punish my mom if I stop, and the judge told my mom if she does not force me to go and stay, she would pay. That sounds like bullshit. After our last attempt a few months ago, Dad started telling me I don't treat my room like my room, or I don't act like it's my home. He asked me why I wanted to leave our home. On Sunday, my dad and stepmom told me I act like I'm a guest in their house instead of a part of the family and that it's my home. I told them it's not my home, it's their home. I told them I can't mention my mom or keep a photo of her in my room. I can't do whatever I want in my room like they claim, so no, all of this means that this was never my home. I told them I'm being a guest here half of my life, and that's all I will ever be. They told me I was being melodramatic, and my stepmom called me manipulative. Am I the astronaut? Boy, that last line's really the stinger, isn't it? Stepmom called me manipulative. Okay, I'm gonna impose friggin' like 1984 here and force you to just digest the propaganda. Let's all play along and pretend like your mom doesn't exist. We understand she's, half of your life you live with her, but let's just pretend like she doesn't exist here. What is the big alarm for me here is that this kid is 16 years old. What court system would not take a 16-year-old's wishes into consideration? Maybe mom fed her a line of shit because mom told her that she couldn't do it, and the court said that she would have to pay. Maybe mom fed her a line of shit because she's afraid if it doesn't go 50-50 and she's with her more, that it's gonna ruin whatever child support balance she has right now. That's the only thing that I could think of that would cause her to say that. But that would not be in her best interest, obviously. And out of the two parents, she's obviously the one who has OP's best interest more so at heart. We don't know that's not, or it is a motivator, but there has to be a reason for her to say the judge won't let us change it, because they would. They definitely would. Boy, if you are so insecure that you can't handle pictures or even the mention of the name of your spouse's ex, GTFO, just get the out of here. You are not mature enough to be in a relationship with someone who has kids. If you can't handle the fact that those kids have a parent that's not you or your spouse. You don't get to be in a relationship with someone who has kids if you can't respect, at bare minimum, respect the existence of their other parent. I'm not saying you have to be besties. I'm not saying that you have to be super civil. I'm not saying anything about the relationship that has to be there. But if you are so insecure that you can't even handle acknowledging their existence, you are not mature enough to be in a relationship with someone who has children. The end. And dad here, dad, as an enabler for all of this, really pisses me off because he is supposed to be her protector. He is supposed to take his child's side. He, in this setup, is supposed to protect her best interest, and he is not. Right now, I suspect what's going on in his head is he's like, wow, my wife is really insecure and can't even handle images of my ex, my daughter's mother, being in her private room. Not respecting her privacy there is a big deal. And I know I've said before, like there's no expectation of privacy for kids in there, but you're not talking about anything harmful here. This is photos of her other parent, and trying to impose that on her is a twisted, evil thing to do. Stepmom, dad, you both living here on AskCon 1. You bunch of steamy shit piles. This is a horrible thing to do to a kid. Dad, I'm especially disappointed in you for allowing this to happen, for enabling. This is ridiculous. It is abuse. That's probably psychological abuse, at very minimum. I do not buy that a judge would not allow this agreement to be modified. And I don't know why mom would say that. OP. The question, am I the astronaut for telling my dad and stepmom their home isn't my home? And no, you're not an asshole at all. Because they made it not your home. As soon as they said, yes, you can't act like yourself here because you have to pretend like this part of your world doesn't exist just when you're here, they made it, they turned your bedroom into a guest bedroom. You became a guest in their home. And I have about 75% certainty that the only reason dad is sticking with this 50-50 is out of pride. And probably because he doesn't want to pay more child support. Also, have about 75% confidence that stepmom has probably pitched on multiple occasions for you, OP, to not be there as often, or maybe not at all, because you are a reminder of his ex. She probably has trouble looking at you. Wow. What do I got here? If I send everything, I'm sending the Bizzo, sending Delulu here. We're sending everything at Bizzo.